I told you we got you. Amanda, thank you so much. Carrie McLaughlin, thank you. Dominique sent $50. Monica, thank you so much. Jermaine just sent another 20. You guys are so amazing. So amazing. Oh, so really quickly, myself and my amazing publicist slash agent slash everything in the world, calendar keeper slash literally everything in the world, PR pinup, and I and No Rads are going to be going to a local school. I just met with the principal, George Rogers. Thank you for the $50. I just went to the school, and thank you, Michael, yesterday, and met with the principal, and they're going to dedicate a huge. It's not that big, but it's a pretty big chunk of property in front of the school, like a very large chunk of property in front of the school, for us to start a community garden, so that people in the community, thank you, Crystal, so much for the $30, can come there and pick fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, that they need when they're in need. Because right outside of the school is the Dollar General, and people are always walking to that Dollar General and coming out of there with chips and sodas and snack cakes. And there's not a grocery store within walking distance of the community. And so I live in a brand new community, but right outside of the community that I live in it's an historically black town. There's a lot of minority communities that are very underprivileged, right? Like just a couple of blocks away. And so we're going to be building this community garden, so that people can come there and pick fruit off a tree. Malika, thank you so much. Pick fruit off a tree. Pick, cabbage and broccoli and squash and tomatoes and so on and so forth, and actually help to participate in the garden. Something that can stay there and last, for 4 generations. Until the 3000s. But anyways, we'll be doing a meeting there. Here in the next couple of weeks, and we will keep you guys posted. We'll probably, if anybody is in Florida and wants to lend a hand, if anybody wants to come to Florida and lend a hand to establish, like a community project that probably is like one of the most important community projects here in Florida that I've taken on so far. I'm super excited about it, and it's in Central Florida, right outside of Orlando. Anybody that I can get to help, it would be amazing, and I'd appreciate it tremendously. Okay, so yeah, shoot me a DM, and if you're in the Discord, shoot me a DM. I don't know the dates yet. Thank you, WK Bill. Mr. Max, MX Max, thank you so much. Diane, thank you so much. But yeah, that's step 1. Step 2, and I'm not really allowed to talk about it in great detail. In a few months, around, my birthday time, we are going to be hosting our first annual fundraising ball here in sunny, beautiful, amazing Florida. Ashley, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Tracy, thank you. So it'll be a fundraising ball so that we can purchase a plot of land to build a community garden and put some tiny houses on. So those are the updates.
Jones, you're amazing.
Listen, man. I'm just a regular bro.
No, you're not.
I really am.
A whole bunch of people want you to check your Venmo and your text messages and all kinds of other stuff. I'm done doing what I was doing.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. I'll send it over to Jones right now.
Hey Jones, that sounds amazing.
Aries Diva, I see it, Aries Diva. Sorry, I was talking, so I wasn't looking at my thing.
That's exactly something I would love to be involved in. And I'll drag Hannah with me.
Shauna,
so
Tasha,
dates. We'll definitely pitch in.
I'm back now. Sorry about that. I left you hanging.
Yeah, I got them. Hold on one second. Because it's on. Thank you, Olive. I got to swipe out of this screen really quickly. So just hold on a second, guys. Thank you, Kiara.
While he's doing that, and I'll defer to, I guess, NORAD since she's still there. You mind if I take a few seconds to be a little bit selfish?
Hey guys,
Yeah, of course.
y'all are just amazing. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Okay.
To those that
Auntie, do you want to say a thank you to everybody? We're there. We got it. We got you covered. It's done.
to those who come in,
Shoot. Sorry.
we're trying to help someone escape a domestic violence situation. They moved away, and this person found them, attacked them with a hammer, and then rammed their car. And they need help moving to a new place because this other person found them. So, anything you can donate is greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated.
I'm going to go do that now. I love you, Auntie. I'm so sorry that we're making these announcements. And, this community is amazing because you guys you don't waste any time. You're just like, you know what? Somebody needs our help. We're on it. And that's amazing.
And I don't do anything I wouldn't ask of you all. You can ask Jones anytime.
Oh yeah, she's raised big. When I needed to get the fuck out of my situation, Auntie was the first one to jump on and raise money.
So thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys so much.
We love you so much, okay? You're so appreciated in this community. You're a backbone, actually, of the community. And we see you as such.
Yeah, we hit the goal in a few minutes. I mean, like literally in a few minutes. 10 minutes. That's what community looks like, guys. Thank you, Steven. What?
Go ahead, Brett.
Oh no, light work. My mental, what's going on?
You'll have to forgive me because my emotions are actually really high.
Okay.
What you guys are doing, I'm floored with. I'm actually want to start doing the same thing. Community is I believe that's what's going to save us. If we don't start living in our community, we're going to fall apart. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm an LGBTQ advocate. I live in South Carolina, unfortunately. I can't change that. I drive around my golf cart in my neighborhood playing They're Not Like Us because they're not. I have 2 adopted biracial children, one of which is a trans male and autistic. The school in my county is pushing back on me because my trans son wants to use the men's room. They told me he couldn't. So now I'm searching for a class action lawsuit or trying to retain representation with that. I sent Jones, I think I sent you 5. And when I only mentioned it to say my note was Harris saved my son. This is the only hope this is the first time I've had hope in a long time as far as things go. I'm a really active parent and husband. I believe that I have a responsibility and want to learn about every demographic that's represented in my household. I feel like it's my responsibility and my want to learn about the LGBT community and minority rights and women's rights. My wife watched the DNC last night and was in tears. I too shed several tears in the last couple of days with my son being accused like he is. It's very difficult, and the only reason I'm coming up on your live is because I'm floored at your knowledge, your compassion. I do have a TikTok that I'm trying to do more on, but it's mental health. I'm a very honest, real person. And a lot of my content is just that. And I'm overwhelmed right now with emotion to know that people like you guys are out there. I also donated to Auntie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just no thanks needed. It's funny because people thank you for that. But for me, that's just what you're supposed to do. So I guess I don't look at it as like a thanks. I have a philosophy on my money that if I have it to give, it's yours, because one day I might need it from you. And it was kind of interesting because I've never needed it. And, well, it's been a long time, and I actually had to ask for some help, and I basically went to zero, kind of, and it was only for 2 days. We're fine. It wasn't a big deal, but that's my philosophy. Hey, I need it, and so as a community, I look at it that way. I give to the community, and the community will give back. I actually want to start a garden co-op in my community. I started a garden, so I want to grow maybe I grow the vegetables and you grow the potatoes, whatever, because the toxicity in our food is killing us. And then we go to the same people that own that to get the medicine that we need that really doesn't work and only makes us sicker. My mom suffered with cancer for 18 years and celebrated her life the whole time, which gave me drive and compassion. And the more I grow, and actually the more difficulties I have in my life with my children, the more compassion I have. I'm tired of fighting fists with pillows. I don't want to be an aggressor. I want to match the energy because I see what happened during Trump. I see how horrible and disgusting people were to my family. I've had people debate in front of my son whether he was a human being. And it tears me as a human being to know that other human beings are like that. My son is the most beautiful human being. He taught me to, and forgive me if I'm monopolizing your life, but again, I feel like you guys are compassionate people. And my son, some days, he wears heels, red leather pumps, and some days he wears a skirt, and some days he wears a shirt and a tie and a vest. He is a human being.
I see it, guys.
He is not anything else. And he's allowed me to see that in myself and other people. And he's allowed me to grow. My daughter is very troubled. And she struggles. And people in my community judge her so harshly. And they blast her on Facebook and they bully her. And this is my oldest. This isn't even my middle one. And she's also biracial and gets torn up and down. And I'm sitting here fighting in my red community with so people think that my family's disgusting. And it's so difficult. And I want nothing more to help other people. So that $50 that I sent to Auntie, if you guys told me it wasn't enough, I'm prepared to do more if I have it. Because that is what this is about. And I apologize again for being so emotional, but this happened to me 3 days ago. My daughter got in some trouble, and this woman just tried to make it like she's just a kid. And I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. There's no reason for you to be sorry.
I didn't mean
There's
for this
absolutely
to
no reason for
happen.
you to be sorry.
I'm actually taken by surprise about how emotional I am. But this is horrible. They treat my son like he's trash. My administration called me. I live in Berkeley County, South Carolina. Okay? My son goes to Cane Bay Middle School. I have his permission to speak in this. My son knows full well the trouble he gets into. Meaning the intention he's going to bring to himself. The fact that they told him he couldn't go to the restroom. Okay, he knows that. They said, we're afraid something might happen. I said, my son's full aware of the bullying that might come. And he's prepared to respond in like and kind. I go, and besides the fact that, do you want to see my son's genitalia to prove what bathroom he can go in? What if we lied and he was trans last year? And that's why he went into the female restroom. What the fuck do you know? And who are you to tell me, my family, my psychiatrists and therapists and people that I trust how to raise my child? Okay? You're not in my house and you don't know my struggles. And I raise my kids different. I'm bipolar. I have depression. I have anxiety. I've thought about however they say it. I think you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Self-deletion, I guess.
Yes. And I've been there. I've been hospitalized for that. I'm in recovery, which honestly is a mute point compared to the mental health struggle that I've had. And at this time in my life, I'm on the other side, and I'm trying to succeed and fly and soar like I've always wanted to. I believe in myself. I know myself. I trust myself, and I need not to do anything else but trust myself. I do the best I can to watch these kind of lives, to get educated. I reach out to the trans people in my community on this TikTok. This platform has been such a huge and immense influence in my life. I'm able to speak factual things to people who are MAGA in my community. And the funny part is I care about these people so much because these are good people who just don't know. Okay, in my perspective at least. And I talk to them and I say, listen, you know, your facts just aren't there. And I'm sorry. I go, but the facts are out there. I go, are you aware of Project 2025? And they support Trump and they never even heard of it. I said, how can you possibly support him and never heard of this? Yeah, sure, you're MAGA, but how have you not heard of this? So I laugh and I say, please look into it, because if you possibly read it and understood it, you would be disgusted as a human being to what they're trying to do to us as a community and as a world. And there's a lot of reasons why we fell as a community and as a world. And there's been a lot of manipulation, and it's a lot, in my personal opinion, deeper than even what we see. The corporate manipulation in our food and whatnot. I don't know. I could go on and on and on, but I'm so grateful to see you, sir, and doing what you're doing. To know that someone else feels the same way I do. Someone else has compassion and love and wants to help other people. And sir, if I could reach out to you and possibly learn from you, that would be an immense privilege. And in any way you could help me. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to monopolize anymore. I know you're looking for opposition.
I'm done. I'm done for the day.
Okay.
I was giving you the space to speak.
Oh,
right? You don't have to apologize for anything.
Okay, I know.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just like I said. I grew up, in a time where, like, it was important to know in a space, right? Because people think that, like, racism ended 1,000 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or that slavery ended 1,000 years ago, or that Jim Crow ended 1,000 years ago. Like, I grew up in the DC metro area just a few, just a short, not even 15 whole years after Loving v. Virginia as a biracial individual. Both of my parents went to segregated schools. I was the only biracial or multi-ethnic person I knew as a kid. I didn't know, other than my siblings. I didn't know any. I didn't see other families like that. It was a very odd time. And then it was the crack era. There was a lot of, crime was crazy, especially in the early 90s. Like TV, the things you saw on TV were wild. Racism was on TV in your face every day. And so, but my parents, right? My parents knew everybody in the neighborhood. Black, white, Latin, they knew everybody. If somebody needed their grass cut and hadn't cut their grass in weeks, my dad would just go cut their grass. And I'm like, why are you cutting these people's grass? He's like, look, they got kids too. And if one of their kids come home and, there's something hiding in the grass, a snake or something like that, their kid could get bit. He said, so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of the grass. If there was, if it snowed and there was elderly people that were snowed in, my dad would go and shovel out every single elderly person in the neighborhood's walkway and their driveway and get their car out. And I'm like, Dad, why you do this? He's like, well, shit, if there's an emergency and they got to get to the hospital or the doctor, they're not going to be able to get out. My mom would take people and buy them groceries. And people knew whose house to come to, where their kids were safe, where they could get food if they needed food, if they could get a plate when they needed a plate. If they had something broken at their house, who they could come help to ask fix it. If they needed a ride somewhere, I mean, you name it, right? And so, not that my parents were like the perfect parents, right? Because we had all of our families have, issues. But at the very least, they taught me that, that all of us need each other in order to survive. That you without community, you will surely die. And so when I talk about the things that I talk about on this platform, I don't care how much hate you guys levy at me. I do not give a fuck. I know who I am. I don't care how much you talk about my fingernail polish. I don't care how much you talk about my hair. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much you talk about my race, ethnicity, gender. None of that shit even moves me. Like, there's not a thing that you could say to me that I haven't heard 17 times a million already. Not a single thing that you could say to me that I haven't heard already. People talk about, what I do and don't do. The people who know me, the people who are active, in my life and in my community, know that I probably do too much.
You can never do too much, but
Well, too much more than I can personally take on. Like I don't know how to say no sometimes. Like I take on too much for myself, is what I meant by that. But yeah, man, listen, I'm just trying to build community both parasocially and in real life.
Yes.
And if we can start, the things that I want to start here in Florida, where I think is like the epicenter of some of the issues in the United States. This is like the proving grounds for Project 2025. I think that if we can make, real difference, boots on the ground, because no politician is coming to save us. The government's not coming to save us. We're going to have to save ourselves, right?
Yeah, South Carolina
And then from those communities that we build, we can start putting people into government places and spaces. And so, yeah, what's up, Auntie?
Thank you all so much. 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 Thank you.
Thank you for what you do for us.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Much love to Auntie Wiggs.
And my mentor, if you need help with your content, sir, I'll be more than happy to help you, sir.
Thank you. Absolutely. Anybody who's interested in helping me to advocate in South Carolina, it's a challenging place to be with the family I have. And, I have a lot of ideas that I think I know would help people. I've been dealing with mental health for my whole life. I'm bipolar and anxiety and depression. Like I said, I've been admitted. But the things that I've learned to get where I am today, and my take on it and my passion about it, like the information I have is new, but my passion is so intense. I have to actually sometimes, I've been told to reel myself back in because it's overwhelming. But I'm learning and I'm growing. I want to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to start doing mental health curriculum in my elementary schools. My 10-year-old daughter, I share a lot of my insight with, and I find that the age group is actually a real sponge. And I say, am I overwhelming you? And they're like, no, I totally get it. I talk to her friends and my nieces and nephews, and they seem to understand it. So I figure if I can intervene with some common advocating for yourself and identifying emotional needs, how amazing would that be if we even had, instead of a health class, but an emotional hygiene class in school, even just a little workshop. So I want to create a curriculum in a way that can do that, and I want to infiltrate essentially the system in South Carolina and wake these people up to reality. We're human beings, and I think I've just been put here to do this. And I'm just looking for allies. And, man, I love you guys already. I followed every one of you. And I'm a firm believer of authenticity. And I find that my frequency is authenticity. And I find other people in that frequency. And so when I meet people, I know. And you can sense authenticity through screen. And I think that's the beautiful part of social media. And I think it's time. And I see people grabbing this opportunity as a country to really be able to speak. This is the first time I've not been afraid to speak in my neighborhood. I mean, I have to think of my family when I say stuff. I have to think of the ramifications. In my state, you can carry a gun, concealed, not concealed. To protest, I carry a Nerf gun because I can't take it. I wear a skirt to support my son, and I'm 6 foot tall. I'm a 220-pound white guy. I'm not the demographic that feels the way I do. And my wife is a beautiful, powerful person, and she has educated me on so many things about women's rights. She told me that she gets treated differently at work. I about floored myself. I was like, The one thing I'll say, and I can ramble forever, but you know what I realized, and this I think might help people, when you meet someone and you come to trust them. I have friends that I trust. One of my greatest friends is black. He's about 6'4", 300 pounds. One time he asked me, he said, "Tom, do you ever afraid for your life when you get pulled over?" I said, "What?" And I kind of chuckled. And he's like, "I am." And I was floored. And this is around when George Floyd happened. I really had to educate myself again. And I got all the facts. And I what I've learned is if you love someone, trust their experience. You don't have to experience to know it exists. My wife shares with me, do I think, because I don't experience it, it doesn't exist? No, it exists. I can admit that I don't experience it and still have compassion and support it. So I'm so confused as to the hate that people spread. And I think people like us really, really can change the world. And I, in my heart, truly compassionately believe this message, and I will fight it to the end. And my family's prepared. They know attention is going to come because I believe that I'm going to impact my community that much. So if anybody wants to come along for the ride, I would love it, and I want to come along with your ride. I've already followed you all, and I've already subscribed to you, sir. And
join the Discord. And there's a social justice and racial justice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Channels in there.
Right.
So yeah, check them out, and you can post all the information in there, and I'll check in as frequently as I can. Hey, yes. Red Crown, then Bone, and then we gotta cut it.
Thank you so much.
We out of here.
Mental, I appreciate your honesty and your openness, and it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. But I just want to say this is a microcosm of what America should be and can be. People, you see a problem, you address it, you solve it. And that is what I'm excited about, the blue wave or the blue tsunami that's coming, because we are a party. We are a party of goodness, and we are a party of helping everyone. And we are a party that accepts people. The other party is an exclusionary party. So when people are excluded, these are fellow citizens, and their rights are being violated. So anyway, go blue, go Harris, 2024 and 2028. I'll be the first to say it. All right? Want her to be a two-term president. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, Red Crown, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, I've been here. I'm glad you're smiling.
Oh, I'm smiling through happy tears. Thank you guys so much. So much.
Bless you. And bless Mr. Jones.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Have you had your water today?
Of course. Yeah, I filled up my cup twice and emptied it.
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Bone. Take us out.
Yo, tough fam. Can we get a W Jones in the chat, yo? Can we get
Please don't do that.
In the chat? Can we get a W Auntie as well? And I'm going to do it. Okay? I'm an old head. I'm not old, but, I got some years on you. So my younger brother, I allowed the older brother to say this real quick. I've been watching Jones for years. I didn't actually jump into his live, till about maybe a year ago, maybe? Like, actually pop up in the box. And the instant just, like, energy and vibe, right, was just right there. And then I decided to take my skill set because I saw him building a community. And I'm just going to say it straight. A lot of people do this same thing, not to educate, not to build a community, but to grift. Let's be straight. And though Jones has to give a verbal smackdown to people sometimes, he spends the majority of his time having to repeat the same things over and over again to educate people. And y'all come in here every day and y'all stand up for that as many days as you can. So W Tough Fam, W Tough Fam. I love this community. I'm a community-oriented person, despite the fact that I pretty much always want to kick human beings in their ass.
Yo, when you dropped dude earlier, bro, I was gone.
I couldn't resist, man. He was like, "You could just go ahead and drop me." I was like, "All right." But not just W Jones, man, but for real, y'all.
Yo, I could not do this without No Rads, and without Kiara,
Yes.
and without Bone, and without PR Pinup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, like, you guys don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, I'm typically, like, taking a nap.
Look, I'll show him right now, Jones. You ready?
Yeah.
Look, I'm working on different iterations, so Jones can have some dopeness because he has the tough, but we got to get him some dopeness for his actual Mr. Jones X as well. And I'm going to make that happen. We're going to make that happen together. Obviously, I'm going to send him stuff. He's going to be like, "Nama, nama, nama, no." I'm going to be like, "Nama, nama, nama, no." And eventually, we're going to have something dope. And don't be clowning on his basketball fit.
Yes, I got that shit tucked in. What about it?
But with that said,
What about it? Yes, it's tucked in. What about it?
But with that said, I want to say this, Auntie.
If you need a link to the Discord, reach out to one of the mods. Kiara, or just reach out to one of the mods.
Auntie, I love you. I love you dearly. I just want you to know that. All right, fam?
Thank you so much, Brother Bones. I appreciate it.
All right, you know my skill sets, so if you need me for anything, don't ever hesitate to reach out. All right, fam? Jones, also for the garden and for everything else, like, you know, for your upcoming situations, you know my skill sets if you need me.
Yeah,
All right?
absolutely.
Tough fam.
Oh, yeah, we need to get a sign done.
Yeah.
Like one of those big signs.
Yeah, I got you. So this is
Yeah,
what I want to lead the tough fan with this one thing. Jones, you remember when I made the tag for the inside and you asked me to change the phrasing a bit?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you asked me to change it to?
Stand up. Why forget it all of a sudden? I have it too. Hold on. Let me get it.
Because I put you on the spot. So I had a phrase, y'all. For those who don't know, I'm prior Army. I was a division head and a team leader and teams guy. And oh yeah, you do have it. That's right.
I did. Yeah. Stand out by standing up. Yeah, there you go. Stand out by standing up.
And I had a phrase I used to say when I was training people, and these people I was training, I wanted them to know the moral and ethical. What's a good word, Jones? The moral and ethical dilemma of what they will be getting dropped into.
Right.
All right. And I told them, I says, as you go along doing this, you're going to realize that what you're fighting for is not what you thought it was from the beginning. And as you look down at these people that they say are your enemy, you're going to realize that they are fighting for something that is probably more meaningful to them than what you are fighting for.
Absolutely.
And I want you to understand that someday you're going to have to stand up. You're going to have to stand up.
I find that so appropriate.
I love that.
I told him, I said, someday you're going to have to stand up. Right. And I had a whole phrasing. And then when I put that on Jones's, put that on the tag for his tough gear, he said, can we just adjust that a little bit and brought it down to this very simple thing. So I want to thank you all for always standing up so that this particular space can always
Stand out.
Because there's so many out there doing this just to grift in under a guise. And we've seen it. We've seen the implications. We've seen that blow up multiple times. Right, Jones?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Tough Fam, for standing up so that Jones can continue to build something and so that we all can continue to build something that stands out. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Anybody else have any
I think it's a testament to people power, community. People say that, you know, nothing gets done, can't help people, but yeah, no, you can. You absolutely can.
Yeah. The only people worried about, you know what I'm saying, how we're going to pay for things are the people who, you know what I'm saying, want to hoard all of the resources to themselves. So, I listen, I just want, you know what I'm saying, if we can just impact one person's life in a positive manner a day, that's all I'm asking for. That's literally all I'm asking for. If one person comes in here a day and learns something that they didn't know before, and I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story really quickly, and then I'm going to get out of here. One day I went into a 7-Eleven that was literally like not even a mile from my house. When I had first moved into my house, this was in Virginia. When I had first moved into my house, I got pulled over at that very same 7-Eleven by a police officer who pulled their service weapon on me. And I'm not sure why. I said, "Why did you pull your service weapon on me?" And they said, "I thought you were trying to run." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I didn't even know you were behind me." Like I drove from my house, which is, like I said, a mile away, to the 7-Eleven, pulled into the parking lot and parked in a parking space. So I was like, I'm not even certain what you're pulling me over for. I haven't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been driving for more than a minute. Like, I literally just left my house, which is a mile away. That's what happened when I first moved there. And he asked me, "Do you live around here? What are you doing around here? Do you live around here?" And I said, "Yeah, I just told you I just left my house." But anyways, that was a whole ordeal. A year and some change goes by, and I'm at that very same 7-Eleven, because again, it's right down the street from my house. And there's a police officer, a woman police officer, standing in line right in front of me and Quentin. And their credit card machine was down, and I just happened to have cash on me. And so she said, "I don't have cash on me." And I said, "Don't worry about it, I got it." She was buying a Coke and a Snickers or whatever. And then she was like, "What?" I was like, "I'll pay for it." She's like, "You don't have to do that." I'm like, "You're right, I don't have to, but don't worry about it, I got it." And then she, you know, looked perplexed. You know, I'm standing there with like hair, like sweatpants and a t-shirt on or whatever.